Welcome back, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans right here on the YouTube and the Twitch and wherever you get your podcast audio worldwide, baby. To my right, your left, right, whatever, this guy right here who's going to try to help me get through this. I know he's hurting himself, long work days. Like you said right before we went live, I think there's something in the air. There's something in the air. It's just, maybe too much fresh air. Something's going on. Going down for the count. What's up, Bill?
Not much there, J-Bone. Just ready for some little Impact Wrestling. I'll be on the road and not too long from now, heading to Louisville. So
tremendous.
Yeah, so we'll knock out a review as we're headed in. We finished the Atlanta tapings, and Louisville will start next Thursday. But another good show and a good closeout until we get to a new venue. But
yes,
some impact talk tonight, baby.
It is. I just want to quick before these get too buried in the chat. These were already sitting here waiting for us before we went live. Thank you, Brian Field with the super sticker. Let's see here. The quick roll up the chat with the look at that. His super sticker is me during the live reaction. Eyes closed, mouth closed. Oh my God, it's me, because I was literally nodding off, and I felt so horrible about this. Anna's super sticker, thank you so much. Big wide-eyed hearts sharing the love in the chat. Awesome. Bell's boy, thank you so much. With the super chat says, this review is not yet rated. Will Mickie James really go home? Those and other questions will be answered on the next Impact Wrestling on Access TV. Well, we will certainly discuss some of this stuff, won't we, Bill?
We will, yeah, because the Mickie James stuff, thank you, Rayne, for the bits. Team Twitch.
Tremendous.
But go in there, and I don't know if they'll put anything on, but after that match ended, they cut real quick. But definitely being there live, it was like a long exit for her, like you're like teary-eyed. It made you feel like, oh, is this the end for Mickie James? Or at least the end for right now. And then obviously we'll talk about what we see on there, but it definitely seems like there's something going on. But is it a storyline? Well, we'll have to find out.
Well, Mickie James is, and I said this during the live reaction, I said the iconic Mickie James. She has been an icon in the Knockouts division, doing so much for that next generation, passing the torch, putting on tremendous matches with anybody and everybody, including tonight, Bill. I don't know.
I think there's people saying that might be, I think we felt it the last time we saw a match as well from Chelsea, but maybe the last two matches, maybe her best two matches since her return. So that definitely also goes hand in hand with who you're facing. And it doesn't get much better than
Hardcore Country. Yes, always.
And with the Hardcore Country mention, definitely got to give a shout out to one of his favorite bites, our own Bison, getting some cred from the dirt sheets out there with his Rosemary interview from a few days ago. So definitely check that out. It's making the rounds on the interwebs.
It is. It's nice to, as much as I may have been down on certain people I work for, Fightful, I will give them credit where credit is due. Not enough people talk about Impact Wrestling. And whether you love them or hate them, if a bigger name than us is going to show some love and attention to Impact Wrestling, I will not knock it ever.
Yeah, so giving credit to the Bison, very good interview. I heard it the other day, and good that it's getting some traction out there. So definitely, if you haven't checked it out, make sure to check it out later. And
yeah, might be one of his most watched ones, which is good for him, man. I'm so proud of him, and he'll be showing up. You know, this right now in Impact is all building towards the event in Chicago. It's going to go through Louisville first. Bill's going to see that firsthand in the 24 hours or so. But Bison's going to be here and sitting just a couple seats away
across
from
the
us.
Pond.
Yes. Yeah, he better start swimming soon.
Gonna take a while.
And woo, are his arms tired. I don't think there's a ton of news. I didn't want to waste a lot of time on news, but I know one thing that we could talk about. Let's just bypass the jingle tonight.
No jingle. Jingleless.
We'll go jingleless tonight because I might nod off during it. Believe it or not.
Too long. It's entirely too long.
It is. Wake up and Jay, it's time for the news. Huh? What? All right. So, something that we have been clamoring for a long time. When we were doing the throwbacks, I know a lot of people wanted us to continue after the NWA TNA Asylum episodes and continue with the throwback the Impact Zone episodes from Florida. Now, we covered the ones up to the end of the Asylum days, but then we cut it off there because we knew at some point we couldn't continue anyways because there was a cutoff. Well, lo and behold, they heard us. And I know we couldn't have been the only ones talking about it. I'm not going to name names or nothing because I'm not privy to that, but I know we couldn't have been the only ones talking about it. But
no.
I think our crew will take some credit, though, because they are finally putting the rest of we'll just call them the lost TNA episodes from 2008 to 2013 on the app.
Yeah, which is good because I know there's been a lot of people are like, well, what's the difference between the app and the YouTube Ultimate Insiders? And obviously this is the content, all the TV, like obviously all the pay-per-views were there, but they didn't have the TV shows, those Spike era, Hogan era TV shows. And obviously that's some of the best shows they did. The highest rated shows, obviously, in company history are during that era. So that they're addressing this, and every Thursday they're gonna put a batch out there. Definitely a reason for Impact Plus.
Yeah, and right now I got the Ultimate Insiders because right now the content, the new original content, is all the same that they are putting on the Impact Plus app. But by all means, go check out the Impact Plus app for all the classics, the new old classics that they're putting up.
Yeah, but maybe because they're doing this, and maybe in a couple weeks or something, like maybe as we get towards maybe Bound for Glory, Impact, it might be smart marketing to do some type of special, like maybe offer a free month or two for Impact Plus to get traction going with Impact Plus again. Depending on how they foresee, if they're going to keep going with these two services, if they're going to combine into one at some point. But they definitely need to get a better plan, I think, for how to go at these two, because I definitely think it can confuse the consumer when you have kind of two services that share some content, not all content.
Yeah.
Price points. Just got to get that more in line. And maybe that's a kickoff 23 thing, but definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, one other quick thing. I think I heard a rumor. I no definite knowledge about this. I'm just gonna, and I don't talk about this stuff very often, but there is some speculation. We don't do that much, but I'll talk about it this time. There is a little something floating around out there, apparently, that Impact may get some action figgies.
Supposedly, during BTI, Josh Matthews did say something regarding the action figures.
Ooh. Wow. Pretty cool. Now, did he give any reference as to who?
I don't think those details were given.
Okay. All right. If I'm going to just quick, and we should cut this off because I don't want to spend too much time on this, but if I had to speculate anything, if I want to shed any light as to who should do it, I'm going to throw the vote in for Boss Fight because I know they're doing the new MLW figs. And the pictures I've seen of those look pretty dope. So, they also do the Lucha Libre line, don't they?
I think they might be associated. And I saw those in person at Expo Lucha. And those, Taya had a figure there.
Right.
They look good. They kind of look similar to like those, like the old Ring of Honor ones and the Super 7, kind of a cross between the both of them. But definitely looks like a good action figure. Obviously, I go a little too old school with my action figures. I think I stopped at Hasbro, but that's about it for me.
No, that's fine. I know Brian Myers and his whole crew with Matt Cardona just put out a whole new line of those too. They even got a Sabu in there, man. The Sabu one looks sick.
Like they look pretty good like that. I was very tempted, but I think you had to get the whole set. They did a Dino Bravo, and I believe that was Zombie Sailor that did those. And I was a big Dino Bravo fan, so I was like, I wouldn't mind picking up one of those, but I think you had to buy the whole set.
Zombie Sailor, yeah. The pre-orders all sold out, so we'll see down the line. I'd at least like a Sabu or a Brian Myers out of that bunch, as long as they're not charging $70 for Chimney Christmas. But anyways, cross your fingers. We'll keep a very close eye on that. Keep the Figgy radar going because I'm a Figgy guy, so we'll keep you tuned in. Anything else real quick on the news front?
Yeah, well, they're to my surprise, Impact hasn't announced it, but obviously Louisville tapings are tomorrow and Saturday.
Right.
Ticketmaster is already advertising the return to Louisville in November. They're going back.
Nice.
And that's going to be on November 18th and 19th, another Friday and Saturday. As long as that's correct and not an error, it seems like that's going to be the case, which would be their third trip to Louisville in one calendar year, which will only match like Nashville for going to the same market. Now, they did pretty well last time. We'll see how this one, it looks overall. Ticket sales were pretty good going into this, and obviously Impact's known for walk-up crowds. But it will be interesting to see because 4 months later, that's probably borderline. And because I'm going to be fair, where I say this about other companies, I always worry about hitting a market too much, even if it's
right
a good market. You don't want to burn out a fan base. That's the story of the Impact Zone in Florida.
Right. Exactly. Perfect example.
That's always the worry when you hit a market too many times. So hopefully that's the right amount. It's a good test case, but we'll see because I know we talked about it a lot on the Discord and everything. What towns kind of are in the rotation? Who's definitely a 2-town? I wasn't even thinking a 3rd town really for anybody at this point. So that's going to be an interesting one to see and how that affects things because if they're in November and they don't tape in December like they have been the last couple of years, then maybe they're not going back to Vegas this year, which would be a surprise.
Yeah.
I thought the last Vegas tapings were some of the best.
Yeah, that was really good. That was that Sam's Town or was that some other
Sam's Town. Yeah, Sam's Town.
Was it? Okay, yeah, and that turned out pretty good. So But it all depends on what the rest of the world is doing. You know, you can't just pick in, okay, we're going to go here in this state. You got to, you know, there's a whole research to it, I guess. So.
Yeah, and then obviously the big unknown still is Bound for Glory, where that's going to be. But we'll see where that winds up being. I know the rumblings are Northeast. We'll see. Like if it is a New York type show or if it's somewhere else. But yeah, that could be a cap off a big year of touring for Impact Wrestling, no doubt about it this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we can't forget a happy birthday to somebody on the Impact roster, J-Bone. One of your favorites. One of my favorites.
I used to have a last name, but now a billionaire keeps it in a safe.
Happy birthday to Heath.
The Biz Cliz Hunter himself, Heath. Nice. Happy birthday, Heath. How old is Heath now?
I actually saw it, and I think 39.
Oh.
I think 39 I saw.
Knocking on 40's door.
Yeah.
Also want to say, I don't know if she's in the chat. I got one eye open practically. I know big supporter of the show. I know it's Courtney's birthday as
Happy
well.
Birthday, Courtney.
Also, I noticed on Facebook, one of my old, like someone I went to school with since 3rd grade, one of my old best friends from grade school, it's his birthday today. He just turned 48, so he's right in line with me. My goodness, where do the years go, Bill?
They fly by, J-Bud.
All right, let's dive into this. My brain is crashing as I'm going to be drooling by the end of this. We're going to try to keep this short and sweet and keep it rolling. So everybody try to follow along. Good luck. All right, so we're starting here. We got July 14th, 2022, Impact Wrestling. Tonight's episode was a banger. Starting out hot with Josh Alexander and Motor City Machine Guns versus VBD. Eric Young, Diener, and Doering.
Well, not Eric Young at first.
Yeah, he came in last. And because the first thing we saw was Eric Young and Joe Doering.
Diener and Doering backstage.
Diener. Whew. It's like drunk tired around here, Jiminy.
Wake up!
Oh! Diener and Doering by the curtain, waiting for Eric, and they're like, maybe this is the test. Maybe we're supposed to go out there and this is the test. They go out there and right off the bat, the numbers are against them. But yes, Eric Young does show up. One of his newer masks. I love that one. Kind of like a real rough, apocalyptic looking Iron Man match.
Yeah, I think that's definitely mask. What it is. Yeah.
Sick looking. And the Motor City Machine Guns and Josh get a win here. The most infamous part of this whole thing, Sabin handing the title over to good old Josh Alexander, doesn't let go right away. He's kind of checking it out. And Josh is like, what you doing there, Chris? What'd you think about this whole?
I liked it. This I enjoyed. Like when that was happening, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, that's a good little laying some groundwork. It was tough to get an idea on. Was this your little piece you remember and you do a callback in a month from now? But as we find out later in the show, this was a quick payoff that we're getting out of this angle. This was a immediate tease because it kind of reminded me of those. Remember when we would usually have someone walking back from their match and then see somebody on the entrance ramp and they kind of look each other over and you're like, they don't have a storyline going, but that's something. Put that away for later. And that's what I felt here. It's like Chris Sabin keeping tabs on, I want a title shot at some point. But he has to go through something first, but we're going to get it.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. We get a promo here for Killer Kelly. It's kind of like an extended promo continuing from last week's. She's in the shower. I take that metaphorically as in like she's washing off the past and she's moving forward. That's how I take it. I don't know how you take that. It's, I was kind of, looking on like, oh, I suppose, ooh.
Can anybody watch this? Is this allowed?
It's getting,
you're hearing rumors about TV 14 and you're wondering, can you handle it?
TV 14? Someone in the chat earlier tonight said, oh yeah, just like Monday now. Some Monday show officially going back to TV 14. I thought they always were. I don't know. Anyways.
But it does feel like the Killer Kelly, they're definitely giving her a unique character here. It kind of feels like maybe a cross between a few things. Because obviously with the inspiration leaving, and like, so they almost are adding a little of that, but not, but also still the badass character. Like that they're doing like this grimy hotel stuff is very intriguing to me. When she was looking through that keyhole and there was like characters outside, is she coming with others?
No, but if you listen to that interview that dropped a few days ago, and I know we shared it. I know I shared it on the old Twitter box. It's on YouTube. Was it Sport? So it wasn't Sportskeeda. What's another one? Something. One of those bigger like wrestling news sites had a great interview with Killer Kelly, and we should have mentioned this in the news, but we'll talk about it real quick here because we're talking about her. She's been signed with Impact Wrestling for the last 2 years. We didn't know.
I don't think we knew she was officially signed, but we knew they were bringing her in.
Yeah.
The plan was to bring her in. We didn't know she actually was she was supposed to come in and then have these issues that we kind of all knew about. And the plan was whenever that was cleaned up for her to come in. But that she was actually signed? Interesting.
Yeah, and because she was going through a lot. And I mentioned this last week, but we didn't really know. But yeah, she had some mental health issues that she was dealing with. And she, it sometimes comes down to like a proper diagnosis when you're dealing with mental health. And it's all stuff that she did to help herself, which is so great to see. Like, it's one thing for people to, all right, I'm stepping away from wrestling or, the outside world for a while. I'm going to work on me for a while. It's one thing to do that. It's another thing to be successful in getting the help for yourself, So props to her and everyone else. She really puts over Impact Wrestling for helping her, doing the footwork, getting everything done and taking care of the visa issues and everything. So, big clap for Impact Wrestling for stepping up and helping her with that. And now she's back. I can't wait to see what she's going to do.
I think we were all very high on Killer Kelly a couple years ago. We're like, that's someone that could make a huge impact in that division.
And
it just got stronger. It feels like it at this point. I think it was. I think it was at least a year and change.
Yeah, it was during that women's the knockouts special.
Yeah, they brought her in for that. There was talking before that about her coming in, then she came in, but obviously she was signed then. And just like Impact, they occasionally announce things, but they don't announce a lot of signings.
Right.
They don't really put it out there.
Yeah.
You find out once a person leaves, oh yeah, they were signed for the last year or 6 months or whatever.
Right. So maybe this is a case where it's like, all right, the Knockouts roster is pretty full. She's coming in. Maybe that just means that a veteran, an icon like Mickie James, all right, I'll step aside, make some room for some new blood in the company. Maybe that's the deal. Don't know. Just guessing, So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, another promo for Killer Kelly. Can't wait for her to step into the impact zone, if you will. Next, we got James Storm versus Maclin. Sorry about your damn luck. Thoughts on this match, Bill?
It was good to see, like, Slammiversary wasn't the last for the Cowboy. Always a spot in the Cowboy on an Impact show. And Maclin, we know that it feels at least like there's going to be this push for Maclin. And obviously now feuding with Sammy, there's definitely something there because pretty much we've seen the history. If you feud with Sammy, that's a very good thing for you at Impact Wrestling. A lot of world champions have gone through Sammy. The biggest storylines go through him. And right here, that he's involved with it, I think that's good news for Maclin. I thought he was, talking months ago, a 2023 world champion contender, no doubt, that he could come away with it. And at the rate he's going, maybe even earlier, maybe Bound for Glory, he could get into play based on what's going on here. So, but I thought a good match. James Storm always looks good in the ring there. Maclin giving us a little more in the ring lately, because like I said, I wasn't a fan of when he was getting so over with the crowd and he started doing very heel tactics for a bit to get the fans against him. Now he seems to be just being the badass again in the ring. So keep that up. And then obviously you have the end with Sammy there that just going to make this. Obviously we know where this is going, and will it be before or after Emergence, I guess, is the key.
Yeah, and I feel like something like you can't go like everything hardcore with Sammy, but it feels like we're on a roll here. And we don't want to burn Sammy out. I mean, geez Louise, he just came back and he's kicking ass. Maybe like a cage match or something. You know, I don't know. Like if you're gonna do some kind of gimmick match, that could be like hardcore-esque, but not, you know, Light Tube City or something.
Old Light Tube City.
Oh yeah. Tax Mania. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Came in the back of the ring with bless you, barbed wire baseball bat, and pointing it at Maclin. And so something hardcore is coming. We just don't know what. It could be a barbed wire baseball bat on a pole match, you know. Someone called Russo. So, Maclin gets the win here. Good for him. So, it could be a bit of a badassery passing of the torch there, maybe a little.
It could. And Maclin, obviously, we know he can kind of be a badass on his own. So, I think this feud could do wonders for Maclin, no doubt.
Oh, big time. You know, Sammy wants to stay on top and or work with that next bunch of newer guys coming into the company in the last year. This is great. I can't wait. We get. I can't believe we're doing this. The Ric Flair moment of the night, or of the week. Excuse me. They might as well be. You know, we're getting news every day now. What's going on with Ric Flair? He's training. He's hanging. He's banging. He's, you know. So we get the segment from Lockdown 2010. Bill, do you remember Lockdown 2010? Team Flair versus Team Hogan?
I do remember this. And this is where you had like the Bischoff. Obviously, he goes with Hogan in this one. This is where you get the next level of the Hogan Flair feud, and obviously, I think this is probably going to culminate these weekly ones as we get into it with him, I guess, at the Bound for Glory Philadelphia in 2011 when it was Hogan versus Sting with Flair on the outside, and then he gets involved and all. So I think that's probably where this ends, because that's kind of his, like, a big thing. Or they could go to his last match, but that was kind of like a random TV match. But we'll see kind of all the way they go with it. But it is interesting. Obviously, we know a lot of Impact talents on the show, which his actual match still has not been announced, right?
No, but the rest of the card.
The rest of the card is.
Yeah, the rest of the. I mean, you know, if you're there, it's one thing. But if you're at home watching in the comfort of your own home and on Fight TV, it's like what, $35? I think is the going price for the last show with Ric Flair.
I believe that is correct, J-Bone.
I would absolutely pay $35, like not even knowing what's going on with Rick. This card, honestly,
it's turned into almost an Impact show with a lot of the talent on there.
It is, and there's some crossover stuff. There's a little bit of MLW over here. There's a little bit of AAA over there. It's some of it's dream matches, titles on the line from Impact. I mean, come on, an Impact fan / indie fan. This is a steal. This is as good as a pay-per-view as you're gonna get.
No, it's looking really good. I'm sure I'll be checking it out. No doubt. And kind of speaking of that, because it kind of has a similar feel. Another piece of news: they officially, for WrestleCade in November at Thanksgiving, we knew that Impact was going to be doing a show there. Tickets officially went on sale for that show as part of WrestleCade in November. So definitely.
Now where is that one?
That is in North Carolina?
Okay.
I think it's outside Winston-Salem in that area.
Oh, all right. WCW country.
Yeah, so it's obviously a big convention. A lot of people will be there, so it could be interesting for who could show up. That obviously that would allow ability. And what are they going to do? Are they going to try to tape any TV, a special like the IPWF that we know is still in the can from Dallas?
That's right. Jeez.
Or is it just like a multiverse of matches type show, which they could also do?
Could be just a big smorgasbord of talent. You know, a few surprises. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. So so this is all leading up to Ric Flair's big night, but also
Lakers.
Lakers
in the chat.
Oh yes, love you too, Lakers. Much love, brother. Hope you're doing well. So I mentioned this on the live reaction, and I'll mention it now. We're getting a special guest next week, Bill. Special guest, yeah. Someone who has been a big supporter of the show. Ooh. And I think we've had him on before, but it's been a few years. The Slowpoke himself is going to be joining us. He is going to be with his own merch company, and I'm going to leave it as a surprise. But I got a little package here in the mail today, Bill.
Oh, package!
So we're going to unveil this next week with Greg. I mean Slowpoke. And he's going to talk about getting a table at StarCast, and it's like the official launch of his merch company, and it's wrestling related. I think there's going to be a lot of people clamoring to get their hands on some of this stuff. It's pretty cool because all the little things that he's making now. It's not just shirts anymore. It's pins, it's hats, it's stickers, it's all that stuff. It's fun stuff. So it brings out the kid in us, you know.
Slowpoke was at the debut of the Joe Doering.
Oh yes, was that?
I last saw him. He was at the Concord, Kentucky tapings.
Yeah. So the night before, he's also going to be on Smash This podcast. Ooh, so he's doing he's making the podcast rounds, getting his name out there, letting people know if you are going to be at StarCast, keep an eye out for him. So, looking forward to talking with him next week, catching up with Slowpoke, and showing off some of the merch he's got and where he can find it. So
very cool.
Yeah, very, very excited for that.
We're all excited to have Slowpoke, but I know there's some people in the chat that when you were saying this tease, as they call it, J-Bone, we're hoping to return a Goldilocks, since you guys have what we call history.
Oh, well, there might be something in the works there for a little Goldie return coming in August.
Oh, there's your tease. There's the tease for you.
Yeah, stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. The old Bone Man's gonna have to wax. He's gonna wax up for a special guest. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so
Jiminy Christmas.
Exactly, pulling out the wig and everything for that one. Gotta put on my best. What the hell did she say I looked like? Robert Downey Jr.?
Yes.
I gotta put on my best iron bone. All right. Next we got Chris Sabin is knocking on the door of Scott D'Amore. He's at the office and he's like, "Hey, I don't know if you saw that earlier. I had a little quiet conversation going on with Josh Alexander." He's like, I touched that title. It's been a while, and man, I had some old feelings come back. It's almost like seeing an old girlfriend, So he and Shelley are sitting there smiling like kids again, and Scott D'Amore's like, "Well, you know what? You gotta fight for what you want around here. That's what we do at Impact Wrestling." So next week, Bill, we're getting Chris Sabin versus Alex Shelley for a #1 contenders match. And whoever wins that match is going to go on to face Josh Alexander at Emergence in Chicago.
Wow.
Oh, man. It's just knowing that that's going to headline Emergence. Dude.
Well, we already know.
I love this match!
Hell yeah, man. Front row Bone and front row Bill. So
front row Bison.
Front row Bison.
D-back Cub.
Yeah, D-back. Yes, he's going to be there. It's Justin, right?
Yeah, Justin.
Justin. And I think
and others.
Might see a Trenticide there as well.
Trenticide.
Yeah.
Well, there is rumors he might come in hiding. Like you might not notice him at first, so be on the lookout for his disguises.
Yeah.
If you see any of these individuals, that could be him, especially the.
Disco fever, disco fever, disco fever, yeah.
Trent, put away your coconuts, damn it. All right. All right, so next we got Chelsea Green versus Mickie James. And this
we can't forget Anna will be there too.
Oh yes, Anna will be there too. Yes. I don't think she's gonna be in the same row as us, but she's gonna be over. I think she said she was gonna be over by the entrance, somewhere over there. So we'll see her there. We'll see it. We're gonna be, as that gets closer, we're gonna be planning a little get together for the TNI fam. So
pizza party.
Well, we got to keep it vegan for Anna, though. That's one thing she told me. So we gotta find some vegan options in Chicago.
We'll have an option somewhere.
Yeah, it's all right. Here's a bowl of sauce. No, I'm kidding. We'll find you something.
Sauce.
It's the sauce. All right. Chelsea Green versus Mickie James. This feud ongoing for a bit here between these two teams. The way this one started, Oh my God. Some flashbacks to the old Trish and Mickie James feud back in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, I should say. Little smoochy.
Smoochy.
Oh my God. Just wild. Something you just, really threw off Mickie James. And so Mickie James was like, oh, you're going to play that game? I'll play it right back. And she kissed Chelsea right. And then she Fez press or, jumped on top of her. I thought she was going to start making out with her right there. But no, she starts clobbering her. I was like, all right, we are going to have a match. We're not going to have a makeout session. All right. But the psychology starting out this match, Bill, jeez, what'd you think, man?
There was a lot going on here, a lot to take in. But I definitely got the crowd going, obviously. Mickie James, Chelsea did a great job here. They got the crowd invested from the get-go, told a good story, had a good match.
You really
did. I said earlier, like Chelsea's been looking better and better in the ring. And obviously when you're working with very good talent on both sides, it doesn't hurt. This one, and we'll go over later, kind of with the panel, but I told you, when it cuts quick, you get a zoom in on Mickie now looking happy, and they quickly cut at the end of this match. But that was much more drawn out as she exited the ring. So definitely there were some tears coming. So what it means, who knows?
Yeah, it could be just, she's, hardcore country. She's rough on the outside, but she's still soft on the inside. She's still human. So, does this mean that this is the last we're seeing her? Because we'll just jump to it right now. I know later we see Gia Miller trying to catch up with her, going into the parking structure or whatever in the back. As she's leaving, and she's like, "You're only as good as your last match," and she's not smiling. She's upset. I don't know. She's been such a great addition to the roster, but I can see if it's time to go. I know she's got a lot of things on her plate. She's got family. She's also working with NWA and others.
Yeah, no, I think this is more storyline wise. May not have something right now. Pick it up, put it away, bring it back maybe as we get to Bound for Glory.
Maybe.
I don't think it's gone, but I think it's maybe foreseeable future, maybe a taping or two. But it's almost like, obviously you're going to Louisville, you're going to be going to Texas. Like a Mickie James would not hurt to be on any of these shows. So I don't know. I think the focus on there in that, with that promo, if they didn't do that promo, I'd be more likely to say she might be gone for the time being. But because of that promo, I don't think they just do that and not follow up on it. So I feel we're going to get a follow up in some way on Mickie James going forward.
Yeah. Mayor in the chat here talking about Daniel Spencer. Where are you? Yeah, because we were talking about him in the live reaction because he missed the shenanigans and the feet up on the rope during the roll-up.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. It's like, oh, man. Critical sting. That rookie.
Yeah, I got to imagine he's probably pretty busy with everybody coming to his town for tapings. He probably had OVW live tonight. And then following that up, getting stuff for Impact ready with everyone getting into town tonight. So I'm sure he's probably pretty busy. But if you're watching it on the replay, Daniel Spencer, let us know.
So, yeah. But, sometimes the refs are consummate professionals, but sometimes they make mistakes. They're
only human. They're only human.
They are. They're only human.
They're not robots.
No.
Although a robot ref is an interesting concept.
A robo-ref.
Robo-ref. 1, 2.
like Robo, like RoboCop instead of it's RoboRef. Dead or alive, you're dead or alive. You're coming with me. What kind of match is this? All right, so next we are taking a trip to the Undead Realm. Taya obviously trying to make herself presentable to be in the Undead Realm. Rosemary's like, oh, Taya, you don't get it. We're going to the Undead Realm. This isn't a place where you get all spruced up for, like you're going to a party. Come on.
For reals.
Right? But they, you know, they click their heels 3 times and wiggle their nose and wiggle their toes and boom, they're in the Undead Realm. And very damp, very depressing. Looks very different from the last time we've been in the Undead Realm. Wasn't it like a dry desert-like atmosphere last time we were there?
A little bit. It evolves. The Undead Realm evolves over time.
I suppose. You know, could have been a big storm rolling through the Undead Realm. Something, you know, maybe the undead wave of zombies was on its way. Who knows?
Don't go to the light, J-Bo. Don't go to the light.
Don't go to the light. That's
avoid the light.
She kept telling Taya that. And what did Taya do? Taya
went right to the light.
She just walked right in like, oh,
she did a beeline.
The party's over here. It's in the light. I can't stop. So just boom, just walked right in and like, oh, yeah, this is more my cup of tea. And then realized she was alone. It's like, oh, way to go, Taya. Way to go.
She was doing that, the Bugs Bunny cartoon. Well, I guess it was the Daffy Duck or Bugs Bunny with the artist where, like, there's no background. And they started erasing them. It was like, yeah, she was a blank canvas. That's what she said. I'm like, okay, I get the reference.
Like Bugs Bunny, he's like, oh, I know I should have taken a left at Albuquerque. I'm really showing my age there. Yes, I grew up on Bugs Bunny cartoons and Elmer Fudd and all that stuff. Elma J. Fudd. All right. So, but who does Taya run into?
Jessica.
So they don't call her Havoc. They call her Jessica. And she like does this like psychotic smile. Like,
kind of creepy.
Oh, creepy is an understatement. Creepy is an absolute understatement. Zach Potiphar. Elmer Bone. Yes, that's, yeah.
You need to wear an Elmer Fudd hat, J-Bud.
Oh.
Their new gimmick. Bodana Fudd hat.
Fudd hat. I'll have to search for the Fudd hat. That's going to take a while. So finally, Rosemary, after all her, yapping, turns around and sees the path to the light and realizes Taya's not around anymore. Where did she go? Oh, she must have went into the light. So she walks in there. Even though she instructed her not to, she went after her friend. Called her friend.
She didn't even have sunscreen.
No. She coming out looking like Seamus or something. Jiminy Christmas. But they find Jessica together. And I don't know I don't know what's going to come of this. This was all very strange but fun.
For some reason, I don't know why I'm watching that and the whole Jessica split personality type thing. It feels like it's got to be the conduit to bring Sue back, or Susan, or Susie,
or some other
or
version that we haven't seen of Sue. See, I wore this today. Was crossing my fingers. I was hoping.
You go on the realm. You got to think she might be in there.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's all fun. It's I like it when they do stuff like this. You know, it just widens your imagination, takes you back to a time when you see these backstage areas and, oh my God, where is the Undertaker now? And, you know, Paul Bear is there holding the urn, and oh, they're in some cemetery looking like knocking on hell's door. It's just, you know, it's fun.
That's what makes Impact a little different. They do things like this.
Right.
And I know some fans don't like that. I think we both appreciate it. Add some levity.
Oh,
It doesn't take over the show. It's just a piece of the show.
right. It's not like they spend half the show there. It's just we knew they were going to do that. It wasn't really advertised for this episode per se. So
Yeah,
just
that's what they
hoping
were
for-
going. Like they were going to the Undead Realm, but we didn't know the details or how much,
right.
what it would be.
So we'll see where this goes. So it's not Havoc, it's Jessica with a K.
But okay.
With a K. All right, next we got Bhupinder Gujjar talking with Brian Myers. He wants a piece of that DMC title.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. And Brian Myers is like, you're not ready for this. You know, why don't you go back and call me when you get a blue check mark?
You had blue check mark on him.
Blue check mark. I was like, oh man, like we don't have blue check marks, man. It's tough, you know. I don't even think about it, but when someone calls you out on it, dude, that's just low.
Yeah, that's disrespect right there.
It's like, oh yeah. I know we ain't got blue check marks. It's okay.
It's okay, J-Bone. It's okay.
Oh, sorry. It's an emotional subject. All right, so maybe that's something that's going to be coming up, you know.
Yeah. No, they're definitely leading into, at some point, they're going to go at it. Maybe Emergence.
There you go. He's got to defend it. Next, we get, been clamoring for this all night, Bill. Masha Slamovich versus Tenille Dashwood. Tenille Dashwood just not looking forward to this. You know, she can see it coming a mile away, but her friends are there supporting her, and that's what's.
Are they supporting her?
Well, they were there.
They were there.
They were there.
They didn't look too invested in what was happening to poor Tenille in this match.
Yeah, I mean, Gisele was kind of doing her own, like, I'm here, you know, hair flip, you know.
What a picture.
Oh man. So, but yeah, Masha Slamovich, of course, makes short work snowplow to Tenille Dashwood.
One of her longer matches so far. Tenille got a little offense in. Probably more than I expected.
A little. You know, she certainly has gotten better throughout her tenure with Impact Wrestling. And it's important to show that off once in a while, especially in a situation like this. But she took it on the chin. Masha gets the win. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Any other thoughts on this?
Other than the chance they're beginning, J-Bone. Masha's gonna kill you.
Oh, before the bell even rang. Poor Tenille. All right. Gia Miller, then, we talked about this earlier. Just kind of put the segments together, but she was talking with that was the next one. Sorry. She's talking with Speedball Mike Bailey here.
Speedball.
And talking about the attack from last week. How Joe Doering and Dina attacked him after his match with Alan Angels. By the way, nothing but positive I've seen this last week for Alan Angels. And Alan Angels, I guess, in an interview, even said, I would love to come back to Impact Wrestling. So we'll see. We'll see if that's in his future. But for his troubles, he wants to get a piece of Diener, and I guess we're getting that next week. Another X Division title match.
Diener versus Speedball Mike Bailey.
Oh yeah, and I've said it before. I'll say it again. Look, Diener may not be a top guy, but he's totally underrated.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this. It's not going to be a snow plowing a 1, 2, 3. It's
Nah, they should have a nice match.
Yeah, it should. And then we had the Gia Miller, Mickie James segment about going home and you're only as good as your last match. And Mickie James not too happy there, so we'll have to wait and see. Main event time, Bill. Main event time. Honor No More versus the Bullet Club. But Honor No More doesn't even get down the stage. And who runs up behind him?
What, the from the Bullet Club?
No, Heath.
Oh yeah, Heath was doing his audience thing. He does his move and then into the audience. That was what he was doing during these tapings. He was all over the place in the crowd.
His I'm trying to think what Kazarian called himself. He called himself the elite killer or whatever he called himself. So Heath is the honor killer or
the honor killer.
Killing the honor. I don't know. The ones that have no honor, I don't know. But so I think
baby!
That's right. He took out Vincent, didn't he?
Yes. I think it was Vincent he took out.
Yeah, something like that. But he wasn't I don't think he was even scheduled for this match, so I guess it was perfect in a sense. It's not like they had now we got to replace him, it was Honor No More has plenty of members. So we get Eddie Edwards, Taven and Bennett, along with the KING King versus the Bullet Club, consisting of Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and the Good Brothers. This was a lot of fun. One of those where everybody gets their shit in.
Yep.
And I don't know.
A big win for Honor No More here. It feels like they've been on a pretty good streak lately and doing pretty well. And Bullet Club taking a loss here. Interested to see what happens.
Yeah, the Honor No More, they needed this. They really did.
Yeah, I believe what Taven and Bennett just won. Did they just win the Revolver tag titles last weekend? So it feels like maybe they're in line maybe for some tag titles here in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, they're a really underrated team. They were the former champs going into that last Ring of Honor show before everything was a giant question mark. It was the OGK versus the Briscoes, right? I believe.
Yeah.
So Taven being very emotional, kissed the canvas on the way out. And everything was up in the air. But now we've got a bunch of these guys with Impact Wrestling, some of their best in-ring competitors. It's time to give them a little something. I mean, you can't win them all, but it can't be it's just the Ring of Honor chumps losing all the time. It can't be like that. Especially if these guys are good. If you're planning on being them with the company long term, don't treat them like that. Guys like PCO could be a future champ. Guys like Bennett and Taven, future tag team champs. And then just anything for King, former multi-time X Division champ. Who knows?
Yeah, then obviously it feels like there is this long lead for Eddie and Josh probably going at it.
Down the line, yeah, I can see that. Being the leader and such. Yeah. So, but yeah, great win for Honor No More here. Bullet Club. Bit of a rough patch for the Bullet Club.
It has been.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know a bunch of their members haven't been available, so that can be like a built-in storyline. While some of the troops aren't here, so it's they're taking some defeats. But when those guys come back and they load up again, look out.
Oh yeah. So, but yeah, that's it. That's it for tonight's episode. Great episode. This is all, leading up to, of course, the Louisville tapings that Bill's going to be at tomorrow for Friday and both days. Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And then leading on to just a month down the road to the Chicago show, which we're all going to be at. So, some exciting stuff coming for Impact Wrestling. But hold on, we got some new roster members like Killer Kelly being, Sammy's back now. The X Division is super hot. All sorts of rivalries coming and going. It's a good time.
Good time. Definitely. You can see it, and I feel obviously Kushida is going to be at the Louisville taping, so that's going to be real cool.
That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you. Yes. Can't wait for that.
So, yeah, definitely will make for some interesting. We know we got Sabin versus Shelley. With Kushida on the card, you feel something's got to give there. They got to do something with Kushida with the Shelley history. So we'll be real interested to see how this plays out the next few weeks on TV.
Could be a Time Splitters reunion.
You might see a Time Splitter shirt in the crowd.
Oh. Bill, do you have one?
I do have a Time Splitter shirt.
Oh, I think it's time to bust it out then. Put a little luck on the building and see what happens. There we go. All right. Well, we'll wrap this up. Any final thoughts on the night?
No, just you can see the build. Obviously, they did a good job of promoting Emergence. We do know kind of some angles going into it already, and it's still a month away. So good long lead in. For monthly special. We keep talking how good the monthly specials are, and you can't miss them. And what a difference from years ago from the one night onlys, where you got some good shows, good matches, but no storyline. Now it's right there in the storyline. Either you're having this stuff on TV or you're going right into one of the big 4 pay-per-views or plus special, and you just got a lot going on. So definitely can't be missed. Really looking forward to the return of Kushida, one of my favorites, and obviously Sabin and Shelley. I'm sure that's going to tear the house down. So
it's going to be unreal.
Hail Sabin.
Yes, I might lean the other direction. We've praised Sabin up and down. I don't know how many nights on this podcast. But Shelley, if you notice in some of those multi-man tag matches, man, Shelley's been on fire.
He has been on fire.
Oh, Baby Bear, jeez.
Bear. Paparazzi Productions.
Yeah, right. There you go. Where's Big Kev? Oh gosh. So yeah, great night, great build. If you're in the Louisville area over the weekend, make sure go attend the tapings, go say hi to Bill. He only charges like what is it, $30 a pop for a pick? Not bad. Oh no, has he got a special going on in Louisville?
Speaking of specials, if you're a Titanium, I did get an email. They're now advertising. They even let people know, like, if you're a Titanium, you got an email saying show up early. they're taping matches before the bell time of the main show. There's bonus matches. Plus, you also will get like at the last one, it was with Ace and Chris Bay. You get a ringside photo the first night, and on night 2, you get a folder.
Oh.
What's in the folder? Yes.
What's in the folder?
You get some vocal.
Oh.
It's a ring canvas signed, 2 of them.
Oh.
I got a Falaba and the big LG, Doc Gallows.
Oh, cool.
Along with some 8x10s. And then you got D'Lo Brown.
Oh, I love D'Lo. Great backstage guy.
Rachel Ellery.
Oh, Rachel Ellery.
And Big Morrissey.
Oh, man. Tremendous. That's a great pick of him, too.
So, if you're there, you will get one of those folders. If you're titanium.
There you go. Wonder what's going to be happening in Chicago.
Ooh.
Everybody gets a turnbuckle. No, kidding.
Everybody's like,
Everyone gets their head put into a turnbuckle. Wait. So yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for the bits and the tips and such. Helps keep the podcast afloat through these times. Much love, everyone. Check out all the links in the description. There's some new merch in the shop, so go check that out. For summertime, it's hot out. Go get yourself a tank or maybe a cup to keep yourself cool when you're out and about this summer. Seeing the sights and such with your family and friends. And so yeah, stay tuned next week. Remember, Slowpoke is going to join us. We're going to unveil some of the goodies that he's got for you guys if you're going to be joining him at StarCast the same weekend of Ric Flair's last match. So can't wait to talk to him next week. And you'll also get a preview of that the night before on Smash This Podcast. So there you go. So for this gentleman right here, Bill, I am J-Bone. This is TNI, Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans on the YouTube, Twitch, and worldwide podcast audio. We will see you next week. Take care, everyone.